Hey there, everybody. Alongside TJ Calkins, Jay Sannon here with ATS, bringing you a breakdown of the UFC Fight Night card for December 4th, headlined by Font and Aldo. And TJ, you've got an action-packed evening ahead of you on this main card. 5 plays, and let's get started with Brandon Allen and Chris Curtis. Allen, a minus 365 favorite, heavily favored to get the job done here. Do you think he can beat Ohio's own Chris Curtis?
Yeah, I really think he can. Man, you mentioned 5 plays on the main card, another 4 on the prelims. I tried to narrow these down, but I was just into a lot of plays this week. So we'll start with Brendan Allen. We've seen improved striking from him. I mean, the win against Soriano, didn't see that coming with no grappling. Allen has a high-end grappling skill set in MMA. He's got plenty of submission wins, and this fight with Curtis, I think you kind of look at Carl Robertson, where Allen probably was at a striking disadvantage. Take the fight down as it comes, and on a submission. I mean, the gap in skill in the BJJ games between these two is just a massive divide. So Allen getting on top probably leads to a submission. I think here's my pause with Allen, and I'm going back to the Sean Strickland fight. He wanted to test his striking against a better striker, and he lost the fight because of it. I think he can get one, but I don't think he's going to let that happen again. I think if the Soriano fight was getting away, probably would have went to grappling, but it wasn't. He was in good shape there. So we're going to go ahead and take Brendan Allen here inside the distance submission. Chris Curtis was a fun story knocking out Phil Hawes, but the winning streak's going to stop at 1. We'll see who gets in this next fight.
TJ, next up, a battle of fighters coming off of losses. Jimmy Crute, a minus 165 favorite, taking on Jamahal Hill, who, of course, suffered his first career loss back in June. Who do you think gets back on the winning track in this one?
Jimmy Crute. So Crute was he won that first round against Anthony Smith. If you didn't see, Crute took a leg kick. It just deaded the nerve. His foot was just not working. And even with that being the case, he was snatching double legs, taking Smith down, and it got stopped in between the first and second round. Now, Hill is a great striker. Don't get me wrong. He's probably better than Crute, but I don't think there's a huge divide there. Where, much like the last fight, the huge divide comes in the grappling games, where Crute is just a very high-end BJJ black belt. And we saw Hill in his last fight. Paul Craig just snatched the arms, pulled guard, and just mangled his arm. Hill's really lucky he didn't have a severe injury that kept him out longer. But we're going to see more of the same here. Crute's got the real wrestling. Once he gets on top, he's going to be superior. He's going to win rounds that way. He'll probably win the fight that way. But I think submission is the most likely outcome. But with the difference being minus 175 to plus 100 on the ITD line, I think we're just going to take Crute.
Next up, TJ, Leo Santos is a minus 195 favorite against Clay Guida. Guida, of course, has lost 4 of his last 6, whereas Santos just suffered his first UFC loss back in March. It was his first loss, by the way, since 2013 in his career. Do you see him getting back on track here?
Yeah, garbage stoppage. If I recall, it was at 4:59 in the 3rd round. So that was really dumb. But this is just a perfect stylistic matchup for Leo Santos. He's going to be the superior striker. He's going to have more power. He's probably going to be busier, but even if he's not, he's going to be a lot better. The wrestling is probably a little bit even. Guida will try to wrestle. But if you're unfamiliar with Clay Guida, he's a epitome of a grizzled vet. It's got a funky, awkward style. Tries to have a lot of cardio, but the skill set is just not there. He can be submitted by high-end grapplers, and Santos getting on top would absolutely qualify as that. Even if he doesn't get on top, I don't think Guida's going to want to mess about trying to take him down. So we're going to see Leo Santos run away with this fight in the stand-up. Minus 190 is probably the biggest misprice on the card. It should be a lot.
TJ, next up, let's go to Rafael Fiziev, a minus 125 favorite, taking on Brad Riddell. Both of these fighters 10-1 in their careers. Somebody's going to end this fight, at least presumably, barring a draw, with a second loss. Who do you think that's going to be?
And this is the people's main event right here for this card. I guarantee there's a lot more people looking forward to this this fight than the main event itself, despite the main event being good. So we're talking about two prolific striking coaches here, not just strikers themselves, striking coaches. You know, Fiziev is world class, and he's starting to show it in the octagon. He looked incredibly good, although his cardio got a little dicey there at the very end against Bobby Green in his last fight. But the levels to his striking are just unspeakable. And while Riddell is very good too, we've actually seen him have to resort to wrestling in the octagon already. And I think he might have to in this fight. I do believe Fiziev is a couple levels above Riddell, as much as I like Riddell. I don't think Riddell is going to have the success needed in the grappling. I don't think he's going to be able to drain the gas tank of Fiziev. And what is a close fight on paper, I think Fiziev walks away with comfortably. We'll take him flat at -.
And TJ, let's get to the main event now. Of course, it's Rob Font taking on Jose Aldo. Font a -145 favorite. He has won 4 straight. Do you think he makes it 5 against Aldo here?
Yeah, this is actually a really, really good fight for Rob Font. So Aldo, at this point in his career, he goes in there and he is quite happy to be a boxer. That's what he wants to do. And well, Rob Font will sign on the line to fight anybody that wants to box with him at any given time. He's going to be the more athletic, quicker, busier striker. Aldo is skilled, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's going to have that one-shot kill. He's probably going to need on a guy like Font, and Font's just going to put it on him with the volume. Aldo, in his last 3 5-round fights, he was finished in the 3rd round or later. He fades terribly. So even if this fight is close or Aldo somehow takes the early portion of the fight, Font is just going to absolutely roll on him in the championship rounds if needed.
It's going to be a busy night for you, TJ. I wish you good luck. That is what I will say here.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. I'm really looking forward to this card. It's a high-end fight night. It's well-made, 15 fights. We're just going to have a real long night of fights.
Of course, for more thoughts from TJ on this card, go to ats.io. You'll get his written thoughts on these 5 fights. You will also get 4 prelim fights from TJ. He has got action on 9 fights on this card. You do not want to miss it. Of course, for TJ Calkins, this is Jay Sannon saying see you next time. Good luck on all 9 of your UFC bets this weekend.
Let's hit a parlay.
Let's do it.